Is it just me, or does Haze look like an angry fart? Haze, to put it simply, is a creeper. She's part of the OSIC, or the Occult Security and Investigation Commission, which to me sounds like Men in Black if it employed the Ghostbusters. Her job as part of the Sandman Division is to enter the dreams of people of interest to assess their threat level and quote-unquote put them to sleep. Because the OSIC will do everything to protect its soil. God bless America. Sounds like some Black Mirror shit. Might as well infiltrate my dreams and just put ads in there until I go insane. Haze is an assassin who excels in single target damage and has the potential to 1v6 if built right. The more she hits a specific target, the more damage she deals to that target. She moves faster than most heroes and can go invisible to gank unsuspecting heroes or to escape from retail workers who want to ask her if she needs any help. Enemies may think it's safe to farm in their lane, but Haze can put them to sleep, and in their dreams they smell it. The smelly smell that smells. The smell of gunpowder from someone cutting up the dance floor, and die from the sick moves they just witnessed. Her weapons are Censure and Penance, which are twin machine pistols with a fast fire rate but low magazine pool that scale with spirit power. So make sure to get items such as Ammo Scavenger and Basic Magazine to help with that early on. It's great for last hitting since you can spam bullets on orbs, but you still need some aim as it doesn't have a lot of spread. This goes for aiming at targets in general. You're going to have to get close to enemies as the damage fall off distance is shorter than other heroes. Moving on to skills with Haze's first ability, Sleep Dagger. It's a projectile skill shot that deals spirit damage and puts the first target hit to sleep. Affected targets cannot do anything while asleep and will be woken up if they take damage. Ana players from Overwatch should be familiar with this as it works the same way. This skill is really good and is extremely flexible. See an enemy you want to talk to real quick? Put them to sleep. Do you see someone who wants to touch your no-no spot and you need to get away? Put them to sleep. Do you see someone's ultimate going off? Put them to sleep. Do you need to feel better about yourself? Go to sleep. It's probably good for you. Haze's second ability is Smoke Bomb, and it turns Haze invisible and gains sprint speed. Enemies close enough to Haze can see through her invisibility, so we got the Sombra invisibility here. This is great for getting around the map undetected, and as of recording, being invisible does not trigger towers or break your invisibility. Smoke Bomb can be used to set up ganks, escape from danger, and getting around the map faster due to its increased sprint speed. Haze's third ability is Fixation. It's a passive that gives enemies a stack of fixation when they are shot with your gun, and headshots grant double the stacks up to a cap. The more stacks enemies have, the more damage you will deal against them. No matter what you build, you're going to want to prioritize this as this will increase your DPS without getting items, since most of your damage will be coming from your gun. Fixation also lets you farm faster due to the increased DPS it provides. Leveling this also gives a burst of spirit damage when you give enough stacks, so take advantage of this when fighting or farming. Haze's ultimate is Bullet Dance. This causes Haze to break it down for the homies and deal AoE damage with her guns for a few seconds. This skill could decimate whole teams when Haze is built right. Don't be afraid to use Bullet Dance for a single target, especially in the early game, as Haze is a hyper carry that can snowball hard if she can get those early kills to get ahead. Since her ult uses her guns to deal damage, Bullet Dance will trigger procs such as her passive and items like Ricochet and Tesla bullets. For the laning phase, just focus on last hitting and denying. Haze is not that strong early on, but don't think you can't deal damage as Fixation can be deceiving if the enemy laner is not careful, especially if you can get those spirit damage procs from leveling Fixation. However, keep your focus on last hits and just poke down the enemy if they overextend. In the mid game, don't go in guns blazing just yet as you can still fall off hard if you feed harder than dinner at Grandma's house. Keep up your farm and go for ganks on anyone who is overextended and prioritize single targets if you can. If you can't see any opportunity to go for anyone, keep lanes pushed and keep farming. In the late game, this is where Haze shines as her damage is thick, especially when she uses her ult Bullet Dance, as this allows Haze to turn the tide in any team fight, the game, and can even 1v6 if no one can stop her. At this point, her massive DPS can destroy towers hard, and I heard that she can even solo mid-boss, but I haven't tried that yet. You still need to be smart and apply caution and not die pointlessly, especially if you still have Bullet Dance up. Make sure lanes are pushed and play with your team to secure the win. Moving on to skills and items, keep in mind that these are not final and not a hard rule to go. I'm still still learning and having fun on how characters can be built, and if you have a build you would like to share or have suggestions for the build I present, feel free to leave it in the comments below. For the skill build, I'm putting a priority on Fixation and Bullet Dance, keeping 2 points on Fixation early on for the increased DPS for farm and for dealing damage on enemy heroes. Then 2 points on Bullet Dance for the DPS increase and cooldown reduction. Then max out Fixation and Bullet Dance. Then putting value points into Smoke Bomb and Sleep Dagger for the reduced cooldown. Max out Smoke Bomb for the bullet lifesteal, then max out Sleep Dagger. Here are some notable items you want to get for Haze. One of the most important items I think is a must buy for Haze is Ricochet. Not only does it help her farm, but it gives her gun AoE damage and helps spread her fixation to group of enemies as the ricocheted bullets proc fixation. Bullet Dance also spreads its damage when you have Ricochet, so it's a huge boost to your damage overall. Unstoppable is a must buy for Haze as she can be CC'd out of Bullet Dance, and getting Unstoppable will ensure you maximize damage when channeling Bullet Dance. The faster you shoot, the better Haze performs overall, as you will quickly stack fixation on targets. Items like Burst Fire is overall good as your fire rate and move speed will increase as you shoot your target, on top of the increased fire rate it already gives passively. Tesla Bullets is also a good choice as it gives fire rate and a proc to deal spirit damage that will jump to nearby enemies. Even though you're dealing damage with your gun for most of the time, don't sleep on the spirit items. Things like Haze's Magazine, Bullet Dance duration, Fixation spirit damage, among others, scale with spirit. Getting items like improved reach, superior cooldown, and superior duration will allow Haze to have more uptime in the battlefield and increase overall DPS. Bullet Dance will have crazy duration, you can spam Smoke Bomb without ever leaving stealth, and Sleep Dagger becomes a long-range nuke. You get the idea. Here are some special mention items to try out as well. I'll be naming the build Sleepy Fart and you can use it if you want to try it out. Now let's take a look at some Haze gameplay.